couple of starts ago, Mark Burley became part of forever. The 18th pitcher to pitch a perfect game. 27 up, 27 down. Baseball immortality in Chicago. As today, the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Chicago White Sox in the fourth and final game of a four-game set from U.S. Cellular Field in Chicago, Illinois. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with Al Leiter, I'm Michael Kay. It has not been a great weekend for the Yankees here in Chicago. Perfect? Not at all. They've been sloppy. They've lost the first 3 games, so they're going to try to snap out of it, and they're going to have to do it against a guy who's been red hot, Mark Burley. A couple of games ago, Al, a perfect game, and the game after that, not too bad either.
Not bad at all, and I absolutely think it's worth mentioning because this is a very tough pitcher, and what I like about Mark Burley is you're going to see a guy that throws an assortment of many pitches. This was the great catch of Dwayne Wise to lead off the 9th inning off Gabe Kapler in the Tampa Bay perfect game, as Mike said, 18th in the history of this game. He's a guy that will continue to just pound the zone, and he doesn't shake. There's no nonsense about him. Even all the glory after, he didn't want a whole lot of attention. Went up to Minnesota, was able to retire up until Alexi Casilla in the 6th inning. 45 consecutive batters. This guy's an excellent pitcher, all-star.
Outstanding. He really has been great. The perfect game was against the Rays. 45 batters retired in a row. That's a major league record. 6th pitcher with a no-hitter and a perfect game. Pretty impressive. And this pitching matchup's pretty impressive. Brought to you by the New York Lottery. Pair of left-handers, CC Sabathia, 10-7, 3.83. Mark Burley for the White Sox, 11-4, 3.45 ERA. What a battle of left-handers. They faced 9 previous times they've gone up against each other, and CC's teams have won 7 of those games. CC's 5-0, Burley's 0-5. Lineups, first pitch, baseball next. New York Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. By Honda, the 2009 Honda Clearance is here, but it ends soon. Hurry into your Honda dealer today. And by WB Mason, for office supplies at amazingly low prices. Who but WB Mason? Well, it's a beautiful day here in Chicago, the final game of this 4-game set. The Yankees have not been swept in a 4-game series in Chicago since back in 1964. And that was the famous series where on the bus, Phil Linz and Yogi Berra, the manager of the team, got into it because of Linz playing the harmonica. So the Yankees do not want a repeat of that. They don't want a repeat of a 4-game sweep. They had been the hottest team in baseball coming into this series, and they played sloppy baseball. They have not pitched well, and because of that, they have lost 3 in a row. Yankees, though, loose in the dugout and looking to take the final game of this 4-game series. Big hand for the White Sox as they take the field, and they're in a nuts and bolts battle in the American League Central against the Tigers and the Twins, trying to see who will win that division. There's Mr. Perfect, Mark Burley. And let's take a look at the Yankee lineup that he is going to face. The captain and the shortstop, Derek Jeter, leads off, batting second and playing left field, Johnny Damon. Mark Teixeira's at first base, good numbers lifetime against Burley. Alex Rodriguez DHs, he's going to clean up, batting 5th and playing right field, Nick Swisher. Robinson Cano, the second baseman, will bat 6th, batting 7th and playing center field, Melky Cabrera. Jerry Hairston Jr., the third baseman, will bat 8th, and batting 9th and catching is Jose Molina.
And the veteran Mark Burley, we mentioned in the open, perfect game 2 starts ago, pitched very well up in Minnesota until his 7th inning, where the wheels kind of fell off. He ended up giving up 5 earned runs, but you see those numbers, very respectable. Made the All-Star team this year. Let's take a look at the G pitcher scout report. Works extremely fast. He gets the ball and goes. He will not shake off the catcher. He likes to get in the strike zone early. No punch outs. Only 19% of his strikeouts, 4th lowest in the American League. Puts the ball in play, uses his defense, and he's a strike thrower. Only 17 walks in the 140 innings. That's just over 1 per 9. Very good.
Well, this should be a fun game. If you like pitching matchups on paper, this is certainly that. CC Sabathia against Mark Burley, the respective aces for both of these teams here in the final game of this 4-game set. Well, the Yankees had come into this series 23 games over 500. They are now 20 games over at 62 and 42. Derek Jeter digs in. He has a 4-game hitting streak. Mark Burley is ready, and let's do it here in the Windy City for the final game of this set. First pitch is swung on and drilled to center field. Posednik is there, and he makes the play in right center for the first out, and we are underway in Chicago. Mentioned it's a beautiful day. Let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. 77 degrees, 43% humidity, not much wind, and it is a beautiful day for baseball. There's Johnny Damon, and there's a strike. Ramon Castro behind the plate, and that's who caught Mark Buehrle in the perfect game. High fly ball, shallow right field, coming on his dive, and he makes a diving play for the second out of the inning.
Wow, very nice play. Jermaine Dye coming a long way, stretches out. I thought that ball was going to drop in there. Nice effort, making sure his hands don't get jammed. Good defense.
Buehrle with a big smile for Damon as he jogged by. And that'll bring up Mark Teixeira, and the pitch. There's a strike. As Al mentioned, Buehrle's going to work quickly. He's going to throw strikes.
And I mentioned, Michael, that he doesn't shake. The remarkable thing, we talk about pitcher-catcher relationship. Ramon Castro, that was the first time he ever caught Mark Buehrle.
That one's drilled to left field and foul.
And why that's a big deal, of course, your catchers know pitchers either from facing from other teams, but Mark Buehrle, when you talk about Mark Buehrle and scouting him, he doesn't really have a superior pitch. He's got 4 different pitches that are all equally as good.
IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. And when Castro caught Buehrle's perfect game, first time in the history of baseball that a first-time catcher called a perfect game for a pitcher. The 2-2 popped up, shallow right, backing up Getz, and he'll make the play for the final out of a 1-2-3 first inning, as Buehrle is perfect through 1. Yankees nothing, and the White Sox coming to bat. CC Sabathia takes his turn on the mound, coming off a so-so start against Tampa Bay. Here's the lineup he's going to face. Scott Posednik in center field, Gordon Beckham at third, Jermaine Dye in right field. He's a 302 hitter lifetime against CC. Jim Tomei will clean up. He's the DH. Batting fifth and playing first base, Paul Konerko. Carlos Quinton is in left field, batting sixth. The bottom third of the order, Chris Getz at second, Jason Nix at short, and Ramon Castro will catch.
And CC Sabathia, the 29-year-old left-hander, will be making his 23rd start. Michael mentioned his last start so-so in Tampa. He went 5 2/3, gave up 6 runs. There you see his numbers on the year. Very good numbers. I like the hits to innings ratio, very low. The walks to innings are nice too. Let's take a look at the Jeep pitcher scouting report. Great in 8. He's won 6 straight decisions during August. 5-0 last season. 126. He's got the most wins for active pitchers that are under the age of 29, and he was the fastest to get to 100 wins since Greg Maddux. An A game, well, they've lost 3 here. They need for him to be on the A game. It's a good thing. In 13 starts here in Comiskey, or now Cellular Field, 7-1. Career-wise against the White Sox, he's 14-4. This is a good matchup for CC.
Well, the White Sox have been doing everything right. Working walks, getting big base hits on 2-strike pitches, so Sabathia has to step up as the ace right now, shut him down. And the pitch to Posednik, chopped, and a diving stop there by Hairston, and he makes the play at first. Jerry Hairston Jr. with an outstanding play at third base.
Well, with Alex Rodriguez being the designated hitter, look at how he steps up, this little butcher boy. Posednik does that a lot. Now, you see Hairston in so far, a fast runner like Posednik trying to take advantage of that angle. The athleticism of Jerry Hairston Jr., excellent play, not only getting to the ball, but making a firm, strong throw to get the quick Posednik. Nice play.
Here's Gordon Beckham. He's 4 for 14 in this series. And there's a strike. You can see why the White Sox like him. You can see why he's got a chance to be the American League Rookie of the Year. Leads all American League rookies with 35 runs batted in. And they called him up in June, so late start, but he's impressed. The 0-1.
Well, you mentioned Michael, #1 pick. Last year, University of Georgia, he was All-American, quickly got through the system. Had a big signing bonus from the Atlanta area. They like him. He was a shortstop in college. They say he's going to be their third baseman.
Grounded, foul. Well, he started slowly, Al, and of late, 27 for 68. That's 397. So his average is at 303 right now. Broke his bat on that one. He'll get a new one.
You could see the young players. You talk to scouts that not only scout the major league level but the amateur level. They said even though his stature, Michael, he's not a very big guy, 6 foot, 180 pounds, but he's got strong wrists, and you can see his action with his hands. He's got a little bit of a loop in his swing, but he's very quick to the ball and explosive. They think he's going to be a 20-plus home run guy.
1-2. Lays down the right field line. That is a base hit, just fair, and it goes into the seats for a double.
Gets his ball up in the zone. You see where Molina's setting up. He wanted the ball here, up and away. That's nice hitting. That's just a matter for Gordon Beckham. See if the ball stays fair. That ball was a missed location for CC Sabathia, just inside the foul line. Just right on the foul line. Game of inches.
Well, that's a little bit of a concern because CC in his last game wasn't locating his pitches. That's not where he wanted that pitch either. Couldn't get his pitches down in the zone against Tampa Bay. Here's Jermaine Dye. That one was low, 1-0.
I mean, it's part of it, but Michael, and there's no question about it. When you have superior stuff, you can get away with the mistakes, and a mistake is command. Location, if you're missing off greatly, you get away with it once in a while, but even the CC Sabathias and great arms, you can't keep missing your spots.
Take a look at the umpires that will decide if he misses a spot, especially Greg Gibson behind the plate, Ted Barrett's at first, the veteran crew chief Tim McClellan at second, and Andy Fletcher over at third. So each of those umps got a chance behind the plate in this 4-game set. The 2-0, outside, 3-0. Now, this isn't an intentional walk, but he certainly would not be broken up if he walked Dye because you've got a left-hander Tomei on deck.
Well, and also, too, let's put the history in this. Coming into today, 302 with a pretty good history, 13 for 43, they're 4 home runs. I guarantee both these, CC Sabathia and Dye, know the history here.
Lays that one right down the middle for a strike, 3-1.
You know, uncertain. Dye's always been very good against left-handers. And mostly lefties will live away, and Dye's best swing is kind of that right center swing. It usually is tough for left-handed pitchers because lefties really have to get that ball inside.
Off the end of the bat and count 3-2.
Yeah, this is, as like you say, Michael, with the open base and Tomei on deck, and you're always one pitch away when you have one out to get out of the inning with a double play ball. Tomei on hand is 143 batting average, although 3 for 21, 3 home runs.
Now, this could be a difficult day for fielders because right now the field is in shadows because there are big puffy clouds and the sun is peeking out from under those clouds or from out of those clouds every now and then. So a fielder might have his glasses down, then all of a sudden put them away because it's shade, and then the sun will pop back out. 3-2. Punch the other way, and this is what, Al, the White Sox have been doing this whole series. They are spoiling pitches, and then they'll work walks or get a pitch they could drive. They've been very impressive with their approach.
They have, and you know, it's a streaky lineup, Michael, because of the especially the power, the dominance in the middle of this lineup with Dye, Tomei, Konerko, Przinsky's out, but you have kind of like the all-or-nothing kind of guy with the potential to hit the ball out of the park, have the propensity to strike out a lot. But when they get hot, as they've been, they fell off the tough pitches.
8th pitch of the at-bat is popped up. Shallow center, going to be a tough play. Coming on is Melky, and he dives to make the play for the second out. That ball was in no man's land. Jeter couldn't get there, and Melky really had to come hard and then slow getting up. He came hard on his chest to get that ball.
Not only coming hard, but he comes from a long way. Now, this is a big, healthy cut. You see where he started from, pretty deep center field. This is a matter of just outright sprint, knowing that you have to go all out to get this ball. That is a great play. He came a long way to get that ball.
Well, the Yankees with two nice defensive plays for the 2 outs in this inning. And how about the difference in an inning? That at-bat by Dye was an 8-pitch at-bat. Mark Burley threw 9 pitches to retire 3 Yankees in the top of the inning. Here's Jim Thome. Count 1-0. And the count 2-0.
Thome's always been kind of that Jason Giambi approach. Great eye. Takes the pitch just off the plate, waiting for a pitcher to make a mistake. The combination of power and the ability to walk has been Thome's career.
The 2-0. Well, he really missed that location. Molina was set up outside. It was up and in, so now the count 3-0.
It says breaking ball. Slider should go down and away, ends up spinning it middle up. Not a good location.
2 straight 3-0 counts for Sabathia. And there's a strike. Didn't come right over the middle. He just hit the outside corner. 3-1. 17 pitches already for CC. 10 strikes. And the 3-1. And the count goes full at 3-2.
You know, we've seen, especially since the All-Star break, CC early on in the game, it's a matter of, you know, finding the rhythm, the tempo. You know, he's throwing more change-ups. I think he's a guy that, you know, really has to, like all major league pitchers, establish the fastball, get into the game. But it's been, the first couple innings have been more about trying to figure out what's working and settling down.
3-2. He struck him out. So Sabathia survives the double by Beckham and does not allow a run. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Yankees flashing some leather. Great play by Hairston, and then Melky Cabrera with a diving grab later in the inning, and then CC ties it all together with a strikeout of Jim Thome. We go to the second. No score. We go to the second inning. Alex Rodriguez leads off against Mark Burley. And a strike. Alex, 8 hits in his last 19 at-bats, average up to 262. Now you see that Burley gets the ball, throws the ball, gets the ball, throws the ball. Does he not want to think out there, Al? He's got to trust his catcher totally?
That's what he does. He does not shake the catcher, Mike.
Fly ball center field. Posednik is there, and there's one away.
Which really, I mean, what really has Clayton Richard ended up getting traded, the Jake Peavy trade, but he kind of started emulating him. John Danks, who pitched a very good ball game yesterday, he works fast. I always believe that, you know, your front end guy, especially as both of those guys that I mentioned were left-handed, you try to emulate your ace. Burley is that. And you just pick up some nuances with it. You know, you see certain things of behavior. And what it says is that the hitter sees that, hey, I'm attacking you. I'm coming after you.
But you said something in your scouting report that makes sense, though. He's got 4 pitches. None of them are better than the others. They're all equal. So if he feels equally confident in all of them, it doesn't matter what the catcher puts down. He's going to throw it.
Right, which I think even what makes this even more special is Ramon Castro, who only seen him on video and facing him. knew what pitches that were working and not working, and to go with it, and to have a guy who you haven't caught not shake you off. You know, if there's a 1 or 2 pitch pitcher, you pretty much know as a catch, okay, he's got a fastball, he's got a curveball. I mean, pretty much. You look at most of the pitchers, 2+ pitches and then an occasional third. He's got 4 pitches. 5 if you count both the two-seamer and that 4-seamer there. 4-seamer boring in on the righty, and then the 2-seamer will fade away. A little sink run to it. Curveball, changeup, slider.
You see Swisher is trying to disrupt the rhythm of Burley. Steps out, takes a couple of practice swings. He does not want him to throw right away, and taking a long time to get in the box, and sometimes that frustrates a pitcher. Dribbled slowly, and a base hit. So Nick Swisher picks up a base hit. Couldn't have rolled it to a better spot. Beckham could make the play, and neither could Burley.
Well, this is what makes baseball great. Here's a guy who had the perfect game, went into the 7th inning with a perfect game. A little swinging, rolling bunt. Perfectly placed. Couldn't get a handle on. I don't know if he'd had enough time to actually get the ball and make the play and throw him out. Would have been close.
Here's Robinson Cano. That single by Swisher breaks a string of 33 straight batters retired here at home. So he had the perfect game against Tampa Bay. In the previous start, he worked a perfect 2 innings at the end of his start. We were mentioning how Burley doesn't shake at all, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because our former colleague Jim Cotto used to say, you see winning pitcher, you never see winning or losing catcher. Pitcher gets the blame and the glory, but the Yankees as a staff, they shake a lot. Jabba Chamberlain shakes a lot, and I don't know if that means that they're not in sync or they're just stubborn, but they shake a lot more than other pitchers. Base hit by Robinson Cano.
Well, it's a different mindset. And I was a guy that did shake a lot. I went into just an extensive scouting report. Now, this is a fastball away. What he believes in, Burley, is that he can make a pitch. And if the pitch is up in the zone, that's just nice hitting by Robinson Cano going the other way. It was high enough for him to be able to get the barrel of the bat on this ball instead of down and away, up and in, theory of pitching. But Burley's mindset is that whatever pitch I throw, I'll hit the glove. And it'll be tough for these hitters to hit it.
Cabrera hits that one deep to left field, and that ball is gone. A 3-run home run for Melky Cabrera, and the Yankees jump out to a 3-0 lead.
Melky's 10th home run. This is a high changeup way up in the zone. Almost checking to see whether he hit a home run. Make sure he touches first base. He got all of that swinging on this first pitch. Ball here in Chicago flying. That ball gone out anywhere. 39th RBI of the year.
That's the first home run Burley has allowed in 4 starts. Boy, did the Yankees need that. The way they've been playing in this series, they needed a jolt of positive energy, and they just got it. Hairston rips one foul. Time now for the G moment. Yesterday was Hairston's first game as a Yankee, and he picked up his first hit. Nice way to start. He actually had a hit taken away from him later in the game when he blooped one to left field, but Jorge Posada was forced at third, so he got an RBI, but a fielder's choice rather than a single. Those are Hairston's total numbers with the Reds and the Yankees.
Been around a while, 12 years, major league player.
Knicks could not handle that. We'll see if they score it. But Mark Burley far from perfect today. He was in the first inning, but the Yankees with 4 straight base runners here in the second.
Well, Jason Nix isn't their everyday shortstop. Alexi Ramirez had an ankle problem. You see that he's a little bit. Once they get on the grass, that hop, that last lip off of the dirt, Jason Nix has had a bit of a troublesome series, making a couple errors.
Well, they gave him a base hit on that one.
It was more about him being able to beat it out.
And that's going to bring up Molina. Yankees have 2 infield hits this inning. So 9 pitches for Burley in the first and 18 here in the second, still with just 1 out. Strike.
Molina didn't like that call from Greg Gibson, inside fastball.
Burley raised some eyebrows the other day. The White Sox acquired Jake Peavy, and Peavy has a pretty substantial contract for the next 3 years. Burley signed a 4-year contract extension in 2007, and he is not going to be paid as much as Peavy over the life of that contract. And somebody asked Burley, are you going to be happy with that? He said, well, we'll definitely talk about it. And I go, talk about it? You signed your contract. Doesn't matter who they got. You signed the contract. And he's certainly not being paid poorly. But he did say, we'll talk about it.
Well, maybe he's saying we'll talk about a possible extension.
He just signed an extension a year ago.
What's the term?
I think it's
3
something
year?
like 4 years, 14 million,
right.
I think, a year. The 1-2 popped up. Gets, makes a play on the outfield grass. Really had a backpedal to get there for the second out. Let's take a look at Tuesday starting pitchers, brought to you by Verizon Fios, over 100 HD channels and the fastest internet. This is Fios. This is big. Another good pitching matchup. Andy Pettitte against Roy Halladay. Coverage will begin at 6:30 in Toronto, right here on Yes.
All the big fuss over Halladay. Get to see him up in Toronto. Not getting traded.
I think the Yankees were hoping for a trade. Not to the Red Sox, but they knew that if he wasn't traded, he was going to face them on Tuesday. Last time they faced him, they scored 5 runs off him. So they have some confidence in that. But, you know, if you can avoid Roy Halladay, you'd like to. Count 1-0 to Derek.
Surprised he wasn't traded, Mike? All the talk.
I wasn't surprised after the Phillies got Cliff Lee, but before that I thought he'd definitely be traded. But once the Phillies got Cliff Lee and put together the package they did for Lee, then the package that the Blue Jays were asking for from Halladay, I don't think it was realistic. And this is a generation now where teams want to hold on to their young players because it's more cost effective. And you know, they take their chances with their developmental system.
And with parity, I think with the idea of knowing that there's so many more teams that are in it, you're right. This day and age, you have teams that are hovering all around 500. Ooh.
Almost got him.
Burley with a good move. He hangs a little bit. See him glide a little toward home plate. That's perfectly legal. First pitchers are left-hander allowed to go toward home. It's an imaginary 45-degree line. It's not actually a rule book 45-degree line, but this is pretty much what most major league umpires will give a left-hander, so that the intent is that showing that you're going to first base.
There was a spring training a while back. You remember, Al, that they actually painted that line on the pitcher's mound. And if your foot came down on the outfield side of that line, it was a ball. No, on the infield side of the line, the home plate side of the line, it would be a ball. Blooped into right field. And Posednik with the play. An outstanding play by Scott Posednik in right center field. But the Yankees get 3 runs on 4 hits. The big swing, Melky Cabrera. He's had a boatload of big hits for the New York Yankees. We go to the bottom of the second. 3-0 Yankees. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Acura Advance, and by Turkey Hill, the official ice cream of the New York Yankees. Today's an ice cream day, right, Al?
Oh, beautiful. Beach, boardwalk.
Driving along Lakeshore Drive to get here. People at the beach, great.
Waffle ice cream.
And if you're at the beach in New York, you can watch the Yankees on your computer now.
Or at the shore.
Yeah, the shore. Or at the Hamptons. So CC with a 3-0 lead. And he deals to Konerko. Outside Konerko got plunked on the left thigh by A.J. Burnett yesterday. It was lifted for a pinch hitter, a pinch runner in the 6th inning. Solid player, professional player. Not great against CC, though. That one is drilled to left field. It is a base hit. It will go to the wall. Played out there by Damon, and Konerko on with a double.
Not a good way for the Yankees and CC to start off the bottom of the 2nd inning here. See again, location up in the zone, middle of the plate. Big, strong, good quality major league hitters like Paul Konerko get the good part of the bat on the ball. Middle of this lineup, they're getting hot. 20th double of the year for Paul.
Here's Carlos Quentin. Check swing, he did not go, said Ted Barrett. Quentin 3 hits and 11 at bats in this series, 9 for his last 48. Blocked there by Mulvaney. What do we know about Quentin now?
Yeah, what we do know is that talking to a lot of people who cover this White Sox team, they believe offensively that he is the key to this team winning the division. Forget about their pitching, but offensively lengthens the lineup. Very good hitter. Bitter end, well, he got hurt last year. He broke his hand. He was 5th in MVP voting. 36 home runs, 100 RBIs. Missed the last month. A nice trade, December 2007.
Nice play there by Hairston.
He was traded for Chris Carter from the D-backs. So far, the White Sox certainly like that trade.
2 nice plays by Jerry Hairston.
Well, this is a reason why Brian Cashman, the Yankees, picked him up. He could play any infield position, athletic, obviously a lot of agility. He's got some speed. Played 3rd base, shortstop, around the infield, 2nd base, coming up with the Orioles. Has played the outfield. Well, there you see it. And catcher has not been part of his season, his career.
Here's Getz. There's a strike. Getz has hurt the Yankees in this series. Big hit, 6 for 12 over the first 3 games. You also want to keep him off base. 17 out of 18 for stolen bases. Not in this series overall.
Well, he's learning from a veteran guy, Scott Posednik, who was released by Colorado, came over, went to AAA, and Posednik has really helped Chris Getz, along with Jason Nix and Gordon Beckham, the young infield that the White Sox have, to having a good approach. But Getz is more like a Posednik approach.
Tied him up.
Has speed. Getz has got 7 stolen bases, only been caught once. Kind of a transformation of this White Sox lineup from not being just waiting for the 3-run homer.
Popped up. Melky Cabrera will put it away. for the second out. It's time for the Toyota text poll. Let's take a look at today's question. It's simple. Who will win the American League Central? You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply. You have three choices. Number one would be the Tigers. Number two, the White Sox. Number three, the Twins. We'll give you the results a little bit later on in the broadcast. Here's Jason Nix. Now, Nix in this series, 1 for 6, but he has worked 6 walks. Popped up. Swisher is there, and he puts it away for the final out of the inning. So the second double by the White Sox wasted against Sabathia. No runs are hit. One man left. Let's go to the third. It's 3-0 Yanks. Johnny Damon takes a pitch outside from Mark Burley. Count 1-0 as we head to the third inning. Fouled away. On the Modell scoreboard, it's 3-0 Yanks. Modell's the official sporting goods retailer of the New York Yankees. There's a ground ball to Nix. 1 away. Well, when you have a good pitching matchup, you usually get good defense. Jason, or should I say Jermaine Dye with a diving catch. Jerry Hairston Jr. takes away a base hit. A great diving play by Melky Cabrera in center field. Scott Prasednik also ranged into the gap. That time Nix ranges into the hole, and Teixeira beats it out for a base hit. If the throw was on the money, Nix would have gotten Teixeira.
Well, Nix is taking the angle going way out into short left field, and because of that, good strong throw you see at the very end to Konerko that had a little bit of a leak. Instead of cutting that off a little sooner, I guess he figured strong enough arm, he may have a shot at throwing them out. You got to know your runners.
Well, the Yankees have 5 hits today, 3 of the infield variety. Pitch to A-Rod is low.
Way for Joe Girardi to give Alex Rodriguez some reprieve from not playing third base, banging on that surgical hip. Surgery he had on his hip.
That one's popped up right side. Konerko makes the play. 2 outs.
Well, they say there's no help coming from the opposing dugout. You certainly don't want to see anybody get hurt, but he lined it up perfectly. Konerko's a very good first baseman. Gets to the fence, sees where he is. See Johnny help him out. You don't want anybody to get hurt.
7 of the 8 outs that Burley has recorded have been in the air. The only one that wasn't was the ground ball by Damon to open this inning. Here's Nick Swisher. And the pitch inside. Swisher's infield single kind of stopped the dreaming of everybody that Burley would pitch a perfect game. He had retired 4 in a row, so people dream early. That one's drilled deep to left field, but it's foul.
Burley doesn't have the same velocity as Matt Thornton the first night in here with the Yankees down in the 9th inning. 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Nick Swisher, a line drive home run. Pull the string there. The essence of pitching. Speed a hitter up. You see, you got the barrel out. Now, whoop, little changeup out in front.
Hot shot and a base hit through the left side of the infield. Swisher's 2 for 2 as Teixeira advances to second.
Well, Burley doesn't shake. He, after fooling him on the changeup, tries to come back with another fastball. Again, when Michael and I talking about command, it is inside enough. He pulls his back elbow in, therefore able to get it on the barrel of the bat. By doing so, you can, as a hitter, get the good part of the bat on the ball. The ball's up in the zone, muscle it through the third base, shortstop hole.
Here's Cano, single through the left side in the second inning. High drive. Center field, Prasednik's there. And that'll do it. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We go to the bottom of the third. Still 3-0 Yankees on yes. Well, we mentioned this, if you're away from the TV on game night, you don't have to worry about anything. Now Yankee fans can watch live Yes Network games on their PCs and laptops. If you're an Optimum Online and IOTV customer who watches Yes, just go to yesnetwork.com to get more information and sign up for your subscription now. I think the White Sox have shocked a lot of their fans, or maybe shocked themselves as well. They were just dreadful on the road trip. 1-6 through Detroit and Minnesota, and then they come home and they face the hottest team in baseball, and they've taken the first 3 games of this series. There was a strike to Castro. It's hard for teams to win on the road.
Especially in Minnesota, these guys, they have not done well up there. Hawk and Ozzie again, they said it's unbelievable. You get on the plane, you fly to Minnesota, and they're already beat.
I might be off by a game or 2, but I think they're 3-17 at the Metrodome their last 20 games there. And they have one more trip toward the end of the year into the Metrodome, and that could be a big series, obviously, in the American League Central. They've got to straighten something out. The 0-2. I think that might have gotten Mick Kelleher. I think it did, but he's quickly right back up on the top step. Modell scoreboard, 3-0 Yankees. Modell's the official sporting goods retailer of the New York Yankees. So Mick is laughing. I guess he's okay. Ozzie's always got something to laugh about. Enjoys his life. The 0-2.
He really does.
Keller made the catch at least.
Infield instructor.
He's done a nice job with the Yankee infielders this year as well. One thing about Ozzie, and they love him here in Chicago, he was born without the editing valve. Thinks it, says it, doesn't try to clean it up, and come what may.
And you know, his owner supports him. Jerry Reinsdorf's been here the whole weekend, and you know, standing right there and very involved with his coaches.
Cano one away.
And I talked to Kenny Williams about that, and he said, you know, Ozzie, once in a while, I gotta, you know, stand up and apologize for something that he said. As you say, just whatever he's thinking off the cuff, he'll at times insult whoever. And they love him. They love the fact that he's very spontaneous. He's a guy that, there's Kenny Williams, the general manager. Good continuity between him and Ozzie.
Hey, you get some leeway when you win a championship, and Ozzie was the manager of the 2005 champions. They had not won a World Series here since 1917. And also, Ozzie, it's odd for a manager. He speaks very salty words that sometimes have to get bleeped, but he just does. He just talks the way he would talk, and he doesn't, you know, he doesn't edit himself. Prasednik fouls it back.
And it becomes like, well, that's just Ozzie. You know, you wonder, like, if somebody just started doing that, how that would be unacceptable, how it is.
Right. If somebody came and landed on this planet now and was a manager and talked like that, they'd get in trouble.
I mean, once in a while you hear a head coach or a manager in a sport have a tirade, and it's on Sports Center and the highlights, and the guy going through a charade. Ozzie has it pretty much every single night.
Yeah, we were talking about Gordon Beckham, who's on deck. He got off to a very bad start, and Ozzie was asked about Beckham. He said he stinks just like everybody else on our team. I mean, you just don't hear managers talk like that. The 2-1. 3-1 to Prasednik. fly ball, deep left center, backing up Melky on the track at the wall, about to play it off the wall. Posednik round second, and he's going to stop right there. Melky's strong arm fires it into Cano. Third double of the game for the White Sox. A double an inning over the first three. Missed a home run by just a bit.
Sednik having the power. He's a leadoff guy, really not a slap hitter, but a line drive guy. Gets much of this ball, carries a little further than I thought it would go for his 13th double. Drives it, thinking about it when he watch Melky get up close. He's going to try to make the catch, but realize, okay, out of real estate. Sednik giving it a run right at this point. I think Sednik says, hey, maybe I got a triple here. Nice double relay by the Yankees. He'll retrieve it in, overthrew Jeter, but Cano is right behind him.
Well, the two previous doubles, the White Sox have failed to advance that runner. Let's see if Beckham does. Swings and misses. Now, we never got a chance to see CC on a 33, 34 start basis. For a guy who throws 95, 96, he uses that changeup an awful lot.
I agree. I think he's an absolute three-pitch pitcher. Now there, but Michael said he led off with a changeup, beautiful little two-seam fadeaway, and now here paints a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Unusual in the sense when you have a plus arm like CC Sabathia, throws in that 95 or better range. Normally you'll see a guy, especially early on, they'll power through for the first 3, 4, 5 innings of just 2 pitches. Not CC.
Now, the White Sox today, with runners in scoring position, are 0 for 5. But in the first 3 games of the series, all 3 of which they took, 15 for 36, 417. They've gotten the big hits, while the Yankees have not. Count 1 and 2, so he wasted the 0-2.
Which really is the difference between a team getting it done or not. Because when it comes crunch time, that's when the pitcher either makes a good pitch or the hitter actually goes after and is able to get the job done. A lot different for both hitter, not only physically but mentally, and pitcher when the runners are in scoring position, runner second, third, less than 2 outs, how they bear down, do they make the pitch? Is there a mistake that's made? Does a hitter miss it? But he's shown so far the fastball and then changeup combination. So he stays with the fastball away.
Grounded past the diving Hairston and down the left field line. Posednik will round third. He'll score. Damon's throw comes into second. It's an RBI single for the rookie Beckham. And the White Sox are on the board. The Yankees lead 3-1.
Beckham is so short to the baseball here. This is a slider coming down and in. His foot's down and he's able to look where the barrel of the bat getting to this. It's just a matter for a hitter to be able to keep that fair, and in doing so, pulling the hands in, you see just out of the outstretched reach of Jerry Hairston. Sednik busted along, heading home.
It was weird. He slows down around third, which I don't get, and then decides to bust it and go home. Very odd, unless he knew he had it all the way. But he did speed it up. Maybe he was trying to get Damon to throw the ball home, and that would allow Beckham to go to second. I don't know if you think that quickly as a runner, but there doesn't seem to be any reason he would slow down.
Yeah, once it got past Hairston, and that ball was to Hairston's right, so it was down the line enough.
Big healthy cut by Dye. Yankees have held Dye in check in this series, 1 for 11. He was the MVP of the 2005 World Series. 14 big league season, 5 of them with the White Sox. He's been an All-Star twice, won a Gold Glove in 05, and as we mentioned, the World Series MVP in 05. Here's an amazing stat: 57 home runs since the beginning of last year by Dye. That's the most in the American League. And he just added another, a 2-run shot, and the game is tied at 3. Let's take a look at the swing, and we'll apply the Coors Light freeze cam at point of contact. Again, bad location now.
Yeah, up and away. He came back inside, and I mentioned Jermaine Dye's best swing is this one right here. Power right center. He wears out lefties historically in his career. If you're going to go away on Jermaine Dye, it's got to be down in the zone.
And the pitch to Tomei is a strike. So Dye, who had been held in check and was slumping 5 for his last 39, picks up a game-tying 2-run home run. That one's driven deep to left field. Going back, Damon looking up. See ya! A solo shot for Tomei, and the White Sox lead 4-3.
Again, mislocation. You're trying to come inside. You see where that ball ended up. Middle of the plate. Down. Tomei is that strong, driving the ball at right center. 18th home run of the year. Watch where Molina's setting up. Look at where his glove is, and you're trying to pound body line. The ball ends up here. This is where he was trying to go and ends up here. Now it's just a matter of how strong Jim Tomei is as to whether this ball is staying in the park or not. It's a good swing at it.
559th home run of his career. So back-to-back home runs, and just like that, the White Sox have taken the lead, 4-3 over the Yankees. So Dave Island has a talk with CeCe, and the first pitch is outside. 1-0. These are the active leaders. Ken Griffey Jr. with 622. A-Rod's been stuck at 572 for a while. Jim Tomei creeping up at 559. Then there's Manny at 538. And a strike. So the Yankees with a 3 spot in the second, and the White Sox have answered with 4 in the bottom of the third.
Notice in these last 2 pitches, Molina's setting up inside on Cabrera. Trying to establish so far with CeCe with that 2-seam changeup away and the breaking ball. These White Sox hitters are looking out over the plate.
1-2. Weak hack there by Canerco as he's down on strikes for the second out.
This is a good Barry slider when he's ahead in the count. The pitch that he didn't do against Gordon Beckham. You got a pitch or two to get out of the strike zone, stay away from the hitting area. 0-2, 1-2 count. Nice pitch.
Here's Carlos Quentin. 0-1. Yankees had a 3-0 lead on Friday. Let that get away. They have a 3-0 lead here on Sunday, and they let that get away. Line drive into left center field. It is a base hit. Cutting over is Johnny Damon. Cuts it off in the gap. Quinton's going for 2. Here's the throw. He's out by plenty. A good throw by Johnny Damon as he gets Quinton trying to stretch. So the White Sox are finally retired, but they score 4 runs. 2 big home runs. A 2-run shot by Dye. That tied the game at 3. A solo shot right after by Tomei. And the White Sox lead 4-3. Melky Cabrera leads off. And the first pitch from Burley is a strike. So now Burley has a lead, 4-3. A big inning for the White Sox against CC Sabathia. Let's see how Burley deals with the lead. That one is punched out to right field. Dye back, still back, leaps, he can't make the play. One hop up against the wall. Melky's going for 2, and he will make it. So a 3-run home run for Cabrera, and he leads out the 4th inning with a double.
Well, unless there's some sort of order here, so much for the pitcher's duel. This ball is up out over the plate. Nice hitting. Melky, you mentioned it, Michael. He's had some big hits this year. This ball away from him. Dye kind of took a route sideways and realized that Melky had a little bit more on the ball than he thought. It would have been a nice play. So far, both of these pitchers have been off with their command and control.
Here's Jerry Hairston Jr. He wants to move Melky over to the third base side. He wants to hit the ball to the right side. He does, and it's foul. Hairston had an infield single, deep short in the 2nd inning. The 0-1, and he bunts. It's a beauty, so that gets the job done. As Burley makes the throw to first, the sacrifice is 1-3, and Cabrera is at third. Let's take a look now at the New York State Smokers Quitline quiz. Besides Burley, who's the only other White Sox pitcher to throw a perfect game? We'll find that out in the bottom of the inning.
Do you know it?
No, I don't.
I think I do.
Infield is in. And the pitch to Molina. And that is up the middle for a base hit. That'll score Melky Cabrera, and the game is tied at 4. Right back past Burley, who tried to kick save and a beauty, but it wasn't a beauty, as it trickles into center field for an RBI single.
Well, this is a nice manufactured run. Jerry Hairston Jr. doing his job. You see the kick save that Burley tried to get. You see the big hole open here. He's coming inside. You see how far to the right Jason Nix was playing by design in the scout report, trying to pound Molina inside.
And you know, Al, moving him to third gave Molina a base hit, because if the infield was back, that's an out. And it shows you, if you do the little things, you always say you bat 100 points higher if the infield is in, and that's a clear indication of a ball that would have been an out.
Absolutely. And whatever Jerry Hairston needed to do to get the ball to the right side in the bunt, I don't mind it at all. You were down by 1 run. It's early in the game. It looks like this is going to be a high-scoring game. Sacrifice flyer, and even better yet, Molina getting a base hit up the middle.
Count 1-1 to Jeter. Jeter's 0 for 2. Good job by the newest Yankee, Jerry Hairston Jr.
Yankee fans are going to like him. He's already shown some good defense and plays the game right.
Hot shot, base hit through the left side.
Jeter is as hot as anybody in baseball, Derek Jeter. Well, again, a pitch inside, drives that ball. Generally a tough spot. Derek Jeter's best swing really is right center field, but he can also do that.
First and second, 1 out. Here's Damon. And a strike from Burley. Burley, over 9 seasons coming into this game, 1,937 innings, more than any pitcher in baseball. He takes the ball and he gives you innings. Count 0-2.
To think about how valuable that is today in the game of pitch counts and limiting starters to not be able to go that deep because of pitch count. The importance of an innings eater.
Here's another thing. You can throw prognostications out the window, Al. We figured, oh, wow, what a pitcher's duel. Sabathia against Burley. Well, Burley has allowed 9 hits today. He'd given up 5 in his previous 2 starts. I mean, that's baseball. The 1-2. Line drive up the middle, a base hit, past the diving Knicks into center field. Scoring is Molina. It's an RBI single for Damon, and the Yankees have retaken the lead 5-4.
Well, both these teams have their hitting shoes on. Let's see where this pitch is. Nice up the middle. Burley trying to do a little wave pass there. Very hard hit ball past Burley. Maybe he had a shot at it. Knicks making a good effort.
This Cabrera telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees.
And you say, Michael, that's baseball. It's true. You know, we set this up as thinking, you know, 2 premier front and ace starters, and hasn't been that way so far.
Slow roller by Teixeira, and it's a foul ball.
That's what makes baseball the grind of a 162 game season. You have basically 17 days off from April till October. It really is a marathon. I know baseball fans hear it all the time. And so much happens. Winning streaks, losing streaks. You know, talking Joe Girardi, they went 9-1, and now this little bump in the road. How easy it is to get all fired up and excited about your team and then turn on them based on a couple games.
Swing and a miss. And the count 1-2. The 1-2. Grounded to third. They get 1. On to first. It's a double play. Beautifully turned by the White Sox. And around the horn 5-4-3 to escape further damage for Mark Burley. Started by the rookie Beckham. He feeds to Getz. Getz quickly to Konerko to double him up. And the Yankees score 2 to take the lead. Well, we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Big crowd here at U.S. Cellular Field in Chicago on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Yankees have the lead back again. Let's see if CC can make it hold up. He'll face the bottom third of the order, starting with Chris Getz. And there's a strike. Yankees with 10 hits against Mark Burley. And the White Sox with 7 against CC Sabathia. A drag bunt and off the foot of Getz. Now, Molina's saying that hit him in fair territory. And Joe Girardi's going to come out and ask home plate umpire Greg Gibson, if a batted ball hits a batter in fair territory, it's an out. We'll see.
I think when he made contact, his left foot didn't land in fair territory. Watch, his right foot still in the box. He makes contact there, and then his left foot lands into fair territory out of the batter's box.
I think that was a good call by Gibson.
Getz starting to do that little run-up butcher boy that Posednik has been doing.
Count 1-2. Grounded foul. Al, so I know yesterday you went to the movies. I'm wondering, did you go see Edward Scissorhands? Because somebody really attacked your hair.
Thanks. I did. I paid a lot of money for this, too.
Grounded to first. Teixeira there. One away. I mean, did you want it to be that short?
I wanted it short, but I don't think she really understood. I went over the water tower there.
Right.
And she kept going and I fall asleep now, too.
You fell asleep in the chair.
Yeah, I fall asleep. So I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh. So shorter than I thought.
What if she had misunderstood and gave you a mohawk? That is a tiny little haircut.
It's easier. It's much easier. Because you don't have to, well, I'm losing my hair anyway, so.
But you're in the club.
Not like my place on 88th and 3rd.
That's a $9 haircut.
$9.
Right? And I heard you leave like a what? $1 tip?
Couple dollars.
That guy went to the same barber as I went to, and he had a full head of hair.
Sunscreen.
Rip foul.
Do we have the UVA on the Bigelow weather report?
Yeah, I know that O'Neill really likes that. We don't have that.
Today's probably around 7.
I mean, when you got up and you saw what she had done to your hair, did you get angry with her?
I gave her like a nice little tip, too.
Well, what? Get another job? Was that your tip? I mean, really?
Not that bad.
No, it looks good.
Sure.
It really looks good. You look great. You look great.
Gratuitous, thank you.
The 0-2. But you did go see The Hangover, right? You liked it?
I did. Oh, that was fun. The movie Hangover.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The actual Hangover, you might have seen that as well.
No, that's it. Nice little dinner. Beautiful. Great town, Chicago.
The 1-2. We did some research, Al. The UV index is 6 today. 6. The clouds, I think, pull the number down a bit.
What a day.
I was standing on the field with Al before the game, and this is the type of day where you actually felt like playing, didn't you?
I did.
Oh. Popped up. Left center. And Melky Cabrera comes a long way to make the play for the second out.
When are you getting your haircut?
It's called John Allen's in the city.
I don't want you to get a free haircut and mention it.
Well, you asked me
I
where
said when you need it. You got a little mop going.
We'll get one the next homestand. And maybe the mention of John Allen's, we'll get a free haircut. Boy, he's got that yeast head going. Here's Ramon Castro.
Would you say yeast?
You know, like when I was in high school, my hair was high, so they'd say yeast head because it looked like the hair was rising.
Thought that was Jim Fregosi. Looked like it.
The 0-1. Foul back. 0-2. Sabathia coming back nicely. He did not get a haircut yesterday. It's time for the New York State Smokers Quitline Quiz answer. Who's the only other White Sox pitcher beside Burley to throw a perfect game? And the answer is, Al, you think you know.
Joe Cowley.
Close. Charlie Robertson. 1922.
He's a Yankee, Joe Cowley.
Swing and a miss. An impressive comeback inning for CC Sabathia. Cowley threw a no-hitter. It wasn't a perfect game. We go to the 5th. Al's new haircut has the Yankees up 5-4.
Nancy Newman in our Yes Studios with your Dunkin' Donuts update. It's a scoring fest in Baltimore. It's the Red Sox and the O's top four. 10-6 Red Sox score. 2 on for Jed Lowry. Lines the base hit to center off Matt Albers. Mike Lowell scores 11-6 for the Red Sox as they go for a 4th straight win. Back to our men, Michael and Al.
Thanks, Newman. We go to the 5th inning. Yankees lead 5-4. Alex Rodriguez leads off, and he swings and misses. 0-1. Lexus scoreboard 5-10-0, leading 4-7-0. Hot shot in the hole, base hit for Alex Rodriguez. Hey, Hal, how often does a pitcher not have it in the early innings and find it? Is that something that happens occasionally, or does it happen often?
I think it happens occasionally because most pitchers will not throwing the towel, but it's one of those, oh, I don't have it that day. And then there's also the element of a manager not having the confidence that a guy will turn it around. But you have frontline guys like in Burley and Sabathia, they've struggled early on. But this is one of those games that the pitch count's low enough, especially for Burley at 64 pitches, that he can settle in, and all of a sudden you look up and say, geez, he made it to the 7th inning.
Pitch to Swisher is high. Now you have a formula. Let's say if we'll go with the old starting pitcher will get 35 starts. What is it that you have great stuff and how many?
2. If Joe Altobelli, who was a roving coach with the Yankees when I came up in the minor leagues, and he was a manager with the Orioles, he said, this is the way I look at your starts. My starting staff, out of 5, I take 5 starts. 2 of them you're going to dominate. 2 you're going to be so-so. 1, throw it out. You stink. Based on that, you're 2 dominant, you win. You're 2 so-so, you may get a win or a loss or a no decision. Based on that formula, you'll win 18 games. You'll be 18-12.
So every 5 start, 2 great, 2 so-so, 1 terrible.
And you'll win 18. Assuming that so-so is like this game here. This one of these starters might get a win out of this.
And Nick Swisher works a walk. And you can see that Burley's not the same pitcher he was in his previous 2 starts.
But what it does, Michael, for a starting pitcher, you look at the 30, 34 starts, and you know, if you get in that rut and you just think about this start only, and if you have a bad game and you allow it to, you know, the next start you have a, you know, CC had a struggle in Tampa, that's where the snowball of losing 2, 3, 4 in a row. But if you take it in increments of 5, because you're going to get about 5 or 6 starts a month. 6 months, 5 starts a month, there's your 30 starts. It's a good way to kind of balance, okay, over the month, you know, if I go 3 and 2, you know,
then all of a sudden you're 18 and 12. 18 and 12.
Yeah.
Speaking of the no-hitter that Burley pitched, perfect game, James Shields, who the Yankees roughed up in his previous start, is pitching a no-hitter through 7 today against the Royals. And it's a scoreless game.
Ooh. That's scary. That's you could lose the no-hitter and get a loss at it.
Now, speaking of Burley, you mentioned in the open, Al, he pitched the perfect game, then went 5 perfect innings against the Twins, got 2 outs, and then got blooped and dunked, and he was really ticked off and said so. And he got killed in Minnesota talk radio and in the newspapers for being, you know, a crybaby. That was lying in the left, and it's caught there by Clinton. And he came back and said, I'm not a crybaby. He said, if you stand up there and tattoo me and hit the ball over the ballpark, I'm fine with it. And that was his start against the Twins. He said, I really am. He said, but he said, when you dink and dunk me, he goes, that's what's aggravating you a pitcher. So I could say I'm aggravated. But today I don't think he's aggravated because he's getting tattooed.
I could see both sides of that, because there is woe is me, the pity party. Like, let other people identify that, hey, he got dinked and doinked all around the park. As a player, you refrain from that, because it doesn't. You don't want to make it seem like you're making excuses and trying to explain as to why you lost the game. Because people, in the end, they don't really care. You either pitched well enough, threw up zeros as a pitcher, and you got the win. Doesn't matter how. The thing about Burley, you know, he's so dependent on his defense. He's only struck out 19% of the batters faced, which says a lot about that he doesn't have dominating stuff like CC Sabathia or AJ Burnett or Jabba that could, you know, punch out a side, you know, walk 2 or 3 guys and all of a sudden strike out 3 guys in 9-10 pitches. He's very reliant on his defense. And in doing so, he throws a lot of strikes. Hitters know they're going to put the ball in play. They're going to swing early. You're going to give up a lot of hits.
And one other thing that has to be put into that as well, I mean, he's almost dependent upon the baseball gods. I mean, you could hit a long drive that gets caught, or you get one that goes up against the wall. There's got to be a modicum of luck involved.
Well, look at the perfect game.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wise, defensive replacement. Gabe Kapler probably was a home run. He pulls it back.
And if you take a look at the 17 other perfect game pitchers, they had strikeout ability. Usually guys that let you make contact don't pitch perfect games because you have to have everything go in your favor. And how often in life does anything all the time go in your favor?
That's why for him. When you hear of guys like AJ Burnett, to me, no-hit stuff. He's throwing a no-hitter. You know, Sabathia, I put him in. And why? Because they have dominating stuff that can dominate a lineup with strikeouts.
That one is looped into left center field. Coming on Posednik, he can't make the play. Alex Rodriguez read it beautifully off the bat. Took off, he scores. It's another hit for Cabrera, another RBI, and the Yankees lead 6-4. Melky is 3 for 3.
Well, all he needs now is the triple, the hardest one in baseball for the cycle. Change up in the zone. Melky has been very good all year. He's able to get almost off the end of the bat, but strong enough to get it far enough out of the way for Scott Pasetnik. Pasetnik, you see him playing right center, giving up on the ball, realizing that he couldn't make the catch there. Really frustrated.
Well, 12 hits allowed by Burley. That equals a season high. So Thursday here in Chicago, it was Mark Burley Day around Illinois. This Sunday has certainly not been Mark Burley's day at all, as he departs first and second, 1 out, top of the 5th. He's trailing 6-4. Well, Ozzie Guillen has to make the call to the bullpen. Brought to you by AT&T. Your world delivered. Burley threw 75 pitches. He allowed 12 hits. He's out of the game, and Tony Pena comes on in relief. And those are Pena's numbers. I'll tell you what, the White Sox have won the first 3 games. They have used their bullpen a lot. And now they're going to have to try to get 4 2/3 innings out of their bullpen.
Well, the majority of those numbers, Tony Pena, who is not related to the bench coach Tony Pena, first base coach with the Yankees, got his first hold yesterday. We got the win in the Thursday game.
Count 2-0 on Hairston.
Friday game, like I said, he threw 2 scoreless innings in his first win as the White Sox on Friday. Another one of those power arms Ozzie Guillen and Kenny Williams likes to have. Pretty good bullpen, the White Sox, stuff-wise.
Rip foul. Hard shot right at Rob Thompson, who had a lean out of the way, Yankee third base coach. Randy Williams came on to get 1 out yesterday. Actually stopped the ball with his bare hand. One of the 2 left-handers in the White Sox bullpen. Two-1. Base hit off the bat of Jerry Hairston Jr. Rounding third is Nick Swisher. He will score. It's an RBI single for Hairston, his 2nd hit of the game, and the Yankees lead 7-4.
Hairston going the other way. Nice approach. See the ball up in the zone. Good spot for Jerry Hairston to be able to drive that ball just out of the reach of Chris Getz. Watch the lead. Reason why Nick Swisher, he was going all the way. See the ball to the right of Dye. Robbie Thompson, the third base coach, waving him, but he had to make sure that Chris Getz didn't catch that ball. A little hesitation.
And Molina swings and misses. And the 0-1 outside, 1-1. Well, when you look at 7 and 8 in the Yankee order today, it says it all. Cabrera and Hairston combined 5 for 5 with 5 ribbies. And Hairston also has a sac bunt.
It's been a good spot for Melky Cabrera most of the year this year. He's been in that 7, 8, 9 spot. Lengthening the Yankee lineup. Tough enough for opposing pitchers to get through. The Jeter, Damon, Teixeira, A-Rod.
And Molina swings and misses for the 2nd out.
Pena just came at Molina, all sliders. First couple swings, and Molina was out in front just like that one. He said, okay, well, Jose, you got to see if you can hit it. And he just stayed with it 4 in a row.
Here's Derek Jeter. Derek is 1 for 3. Count 1-0 to Jeter. Yankees up 7-4. They led 3-0. They trailed 4-3. Then they went to 5-4. Now 7-4 in the top of the 5th inning. Count 2-0.
Be good for the Yankees to get a little breathing room here. The Yankee bullpen the last 2 days have gotten some extra work that they wouldn't wanted as much. I think Melanson, Robertson, and Bruni aren't available.
They are not available.
Are not available. Some high pitch counts in the last couple games. With the off day tomorrow, that's helpful going up to Toronto.
John Buck of the Royals just singled in the 8th inning to break up Shields' no-hitter.
Lead off the 8th? Was it? I always say get through the 7th inning. You got a real shot.
Driven out to right field and deep. Backing up Dye. Still back. Track. Wall. He makes the play. Beautiful play by Jermaine Dye to take an extra base hit and a couple of RBIs away from Derek Jeter. Dye goes back, measures, gets to the wall, and a baby leap to make the play. And Tony Pena likes what he sees. Halfway through in this one, and the Yankees lead 7-4 over the White Sox on the Lexus scoreboard. Yankees have pounded out 13 hits. The White Sox 7. So Sabathia now has a chance at a win. One of those wins where Al said you could pitch so-so and still get a victory. Here's Posednik. And the count 1-0. Posednik is 1 for 2. Check swing fouled off.
Posednik, 8 years in the minor leagues before he got to the big leagues. People around the White Sox saying that what he has infused in this lineup, the mindset of running, taking the extra base, going first and third.
Count 1-2. Well, we keep talking about no-hitters and perfect games. Mark Burley with the perfect game, 18th in big league history, and James Shields got his no-hitter broken up in the 8th inning against the Royals. Chop towards short. Jeter just got the hustling Posednik for the first out. Posednik will talk it over with Ted Barrett. Now, Ozzie Guillen was quickly out of the dugout, but he'll stay right there.
Well, he's got it. He was second coming into this series in infield hits with 26, so he knows the feel of the bang-bang play. Let's see.
Wow. He might have been safe.
That's how he goes to the runner, right?
That's not in the rule book, but that's usually generally accepted. Hot shot to second. Right there is Cano. And Beckham's out. Anyway, I want to ask you this quickly, Al. You pitched the 7th game of the World Series for the Marlins. You pitched the 1st game of the World Series for the Mets against the Yankees. And you pitched the 5th game, the final game of that World Series for the Mets. And you pitched a no-hitter. Which was more pressure, at the end of the no-hitter or starting that 7th game?
The 163rd game in Cincinnati.
Right. That was more than a no-hitter?
Yeah, the no-hitter was, Michael, it was 11-0. So it was really just as to whether I pitched the no-hitter as opposed to worrying about a win or a loss.
But still, no-hitter is like
it was good.
Part of forever.
No, it was very, very exciting. And, you know, a friend of mine actually was the #1 pick the year I was drafted, was up in Cooperstown with his son. And took a picture on his cell phone of the no-hit timeline, which I'm on.
So you would say that the 163rd game was more pressure than Game 7 of the World Series? Really?
You know what? Well, no. The Game 7 was. Because you have a bad start, probably you'll lose because you're matched up against, you know, actually Jarrett Wright had a no-hitter in the fifth inning against Cleveland in '97. The reason why that 163rd, because it was the heightened anxiety was that we sat at the Diamond Club at Shea waiting for the Reds to either win or lose. If they lost, we would go on to Arizona. I was going to pitch against Randy Johnson in Game 1, or fly to Cincinnati and pitch the 163rd game.
So you guys are obviously rooting for the Reds to lose.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we didn't want to play the extra game. I mean, you know, the whole do or die, the compelling moment in baseball is that Game 7. And if, you know, you can get to it when there's going to be the euphoric feeling of the champion and the sorrow of the loser, it's exciting.
Grounded and knocked down there by Hairston. Regains, and he gets die for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning, and Sabathia retired them in order on just 10 pitches. Well, he's retired 6 in a row. We go to the 6th, 7-4 Yanks. It's break time. Time for a fresh brewed cup of coffee. Yes, we get our Green Mountain K-Cup coffee system from the same people who bring us our office supplies. W.B. Mason. Who bought? Randy Williams on to face Johnny Damon here in the 6th. Pitches upstairs. 7-4 Yankees lead. Yankees trying to salvage the final game of this 4-game set. We mentioned this at the start of the game. The last time the Yankees get swept here in Chicago, and those are the numbers on Williams, only his 3rd game. In a 4-game set in Chicago, you have to go back 45 years to 1964. And when they got swept, that was the famous Phil Linz harmonica incident, where Phil Linz was learning to play the harmonica, and he was on the bus. The rest of the Yankees are on the bus. Yogi's in the front as the manager, and Phil Linz is playing the harmonica after they just got swept 4 games. And Yogi turns around and yells from the manager's seat at the front of the bus, "Stop playing." So Phil Linz didn't hear what he said. Grounded to first. Canerco there. Tosses to Williams, 1 away. So Linz said to Mickey Mantle, he said, "What did he say?" Mickey said, he said, "Play it louder." So Phil Linz played it louder. And Yogi went back and kind of whipped the harmonica out of the hand of Phil Linz and threw it down. I think he hit somebody in the knee. I'm not quite sure who. And that kind of turned the Yankees around. They took off after that. And they made it to the 7th game of the World Series against the Cardinals, where they lost. And because of that story, Phil Linz ended up getting like a $5,000 endorsement deal from a harmonica company. All happened here in Chicago. But you could picture Mickey going, "Play it louder." He said, "Play it louder."
Cheer the guys up. You know, it's funny with the whole music thing. I know there's some managers. Bobby Cox was a guy that didn't like music in the club. I think Joe Torre.
Joe Torre made you wear headsets, yeah.
Because then it becomes an argument, a fight. Like somebody wants certain kind of music and genre, and you know everybody's fighting over the DJ booth. But the other side of it is that if you play music after games, as you generally do after wins, there's a lot of managers if you lose a game, you come in and you say, "Well, keep playing the music." You know why? Just because we lost the game.
Joe Girardi wants music.
Yeah.
That's when he started in spring training with Nick Swisher, who was playing music. The one thing Joe Torre would do, the starting pitcher could choose the music in the clubhouse before the game. And, you know, David Wells would play Metallica and stuff like that. But he allowed the starting pitcher to choose music. There's a strike. Teixeira leads off first. A-Rod's 1 for 3. And the pitch is low. 1-1. Time is called. Fouled away. A-Rod's been sitting at 572 home run rise for a while. Now, Girardi said giving him a designated hitter start today and then the day off on the schedule tomorrow. He said it's like giving him a day and a half. He did not have a day off this week. He has DH'd twice, though. And he said that he monitors things very closely with Alex now after having him play, I believe it was 38 straight games when he came off the DL following the surgery. Alex was beaten up physically, and they decided they had to give him a day off every week. So 2 DH spots this week as Hotel warms up, and then an off day tomorrow. And following tomorrow's off day, Yankees play 16 games in a row again.
Well, I know when Joe gave Alex a couple days off in Florida, that seemed to help him
Yes.
energize him into a nice little run. And most players won't be honest with how they feel. They'll always say, hey, I can play, I'm fine. And that's where the manager really has to take it upon himself to say, look, this is going to be good for you in the long run. We need you in September. I don't care whether you say you're fine or not. You're taking the day off.
And also, I mean, it's a little more complicated with Alex coming off a serious surgery. You're not just a guy who needs a day off. You have to keep fresh, keep that injured area fresh. Pitch is outside, so Alex walks, and Teixeira will move to second. Tonight after the postgame, don't miss an all-new WB Mason Presents the Joe Girardi Show as the skipper looks ahead to this week's series against Boston. Then on a new Yankees on Deck, go behind the scenes with Andy Pettitte during a day at spring training. It's all tonight after the postgame, only on Yes. Don Cooper comes out and talks with Randy Williams as he has walked 2 here in the 6th with Nick Swisher due up. Swisher's 2 for 2 with a walk and 2 runs scored so far today. There's a strike. Count 1-1 to Swisher.
Watching Randy Williams and left-handed, if you're healthy and you can pitch a little bit, there's always a place for you. 33 years old. He's been around a while. He was a 12th round draft pick by the Cubs. But watching his stuff here, just got called up from Charlotte AAA, 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Spent some time in the big leagues with San Diego, Colorado, Seattle.
Count 3-1 on Swisher.
Well, Nick should get a good pitch here. Fastball, something up out over the plate.
And he's now walked 3 batters in a row to load the bases. The Yankees have a chance to really pad their lead now with Robinson Cano coming up. So he's faced 4 hitters this inning, Williams has, and 4 3-ball counts. Ozzy's probably thinking he did the wrong thing. He changed the look. I mean, the first 3 games Ozzy had on pullovers, sweatshirts, didn't wear the uniform top. He's got the uniform top on. His team's not playing well today.
In the day game yesterday,
Yeah.
we saw this sweatshirt.
Way outside, and Williams has lost the play. Well, Randy Williams has lost the play.
Well, that's a big no-no for any reliever. Obviously, the point of pitch and getting ahead, but that'll drive any manager nuts. Coming in, getting behind, walking guys, creating the offense.
22 pitches, 16 balls for Williams. And a strike.
This is for Robinson Cano. Don't get too anxious. You have a pitcher clearly in trouble, hasn't found the strike zone consistently. Look for your pitch, whatever that is, something high, fastball out over plate. If it's not there, take it.
Got a fastball, swung through it, count 1-2.
Well, he challenged him, setting up away. This ball ended up being higher than high for Robbie's liking. Just blew it by him.
Count 2-2. Swing and a miss. He came back to strike out Cano.
Well, let's take a look at the pitch by pitch. Just wild away. Robinson, the paint fastball away, then just blew it by him there on the 1-1 pitch. Tries to go away, misses. Just attacked the zone. Robinson Cano late.
Here's Melky. He's a triple away from the cycle. Single, double, home run. The last Yankee hit for the cycle, you have to go back to 1995. Tony Fernandez did it. If you think about it, since the last cycle, the Yankees have had 2 perfect games and 1 no-hitter.
But yet the cycle,
And 4 championships.
And the cycle isn't heralded as high. This seems to be more elusive.
It's about as difficult to get as a no-hitter. The 1-1. I guess the people that have the speed to get the triple most of the times don't have the power to hit the home run. No triple there. Ground ball to second. And Williams works into and out of trouble in the 6th. So he survives the 3 walks. No runs, no hits. 3 walks, 3 left. Go to the bottom of the 6th. The Yankees up by 3.
Friday night, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, Bill Russell, sits down with Michael Kay on an all-new Center Stage. The former Celtic shares his many championship stories and opens up to reveal his personal side. It's Center Stage with Bill Russell, Friday night at 11, only on Yes.
Right after the second game of the Red Sox series. Pitch to Jim Tomei is a strike now. The Yankees offensively, you see the score is 7-4, had a long top of the 5th inning. Long top of the 6th inning, and now Sabathia has thrown only 10 pitches in about 35 innings. Adverse effect?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Don't you get out of sync?
Well, I mean, it's all about getting quick outs. No, I think it's a matter of being able to work quickly and get through it.
Yeah, but he's been sitting, what I'm saying, for 35 minutes other than 10 pitches.
Well, if he was sitting for 35 minutes and had a long inning, I'd rather have the 10 pitch inning. I understand the 30 minutes, you say?
35 minutes,
35
10
minutes.
pitches.
I think it's a matter of him feeling comfortable and locked in. I'd rather have a 35-minute wait. It would have been nice for the Yankees to get a couple runs there.
Strike 3, Tomei down looking. 7 in a row for Sabathia.
Just came with a slider. He's getting comfortable in the sense of getting ahead, throwing his pitches. See the little give up. Tomei looking for a fastball, not being able to pull the trigger. That is the difficult aspect of facing a guy like CC Sabathia with a great fastball. They have to honor it and respect the fact that he can throw in the mid-90s. A lot of locked up strikeouts that way.
Paul Konerko takes a strike.
That's a nice pitch there, Michael. That was his first curveball of the day. Primarily fastball, slider, change. See now the varying speeds. Now whether he does that on purpose, the first pitch was 77. I said it was his first curveball. He actually threw one to Carlos Quentin in Quentin's last at bat. And this is part of like the game where a veteran pitcher, you know, struggling early on to find what's working. Hopefully you're in the game long enough.
Line drive, a base hit to left field for Konerko. He's 2 for 3 as Damon gets the ball in.
Well, CC struck out Konerko on the slider after he attacked him with fastballs. This at bat he went curveball, curveball, and then came back again. See the location. Now this is bad location. When you have a 0-2, 1-2 count, you see where the glove was, and then Molina ended up reaching out over the plate. It's just a pitch in which that CC wanted that bit to bury it somewhere back foot on Konerko, and he just left it up.
And Quentin grounds one to Hairston. There's one. On to first, it's a double play. So Sabathia with another scoreless inning as he has picked up his game as the Yankees got him back the lead. Jerry Hairston has started a couple of double plays. A nice throw to Cano, who gets it off quickly to first. We go to the 7th. Well, the Yankees have a 7-4 lead, and Jerry Hairston Jr. is paying dividends.
What a game yesterday. First game as a Yankee. Great defense here early on. Another spectacular play. Showing his fine glove to left and right. Then his sacrifice bunt to be able to create a run. Then an RBI single in right field. He's done it all so far for the Yankees today.
7-4, 7-13-0, leading 4-8-0. And just like that, Jerry Hairston leads off and takes a strike from new White Sox pitcher Octavio Dotel. Count 1-1. Jerry's dad played here with the White Sox, so there's certainly a history, and those are Dotel's numbers. And he grew up in Chicago, so a perfect way to ease into a new team, coming to a city he knows so well. And his grandpa also played with the White Sox, so there's definitely a history here in the Windy City.
Baseball family. His brother plays with the Oakland A's with San Diego.
The Hairston family and the Boone family, the only 3-generation families to play in big league baseball. Popped up, shallow right. Dye is there, 1 away. Grandfather is Sammy, father Jerry, brother Scott. Nice lineage. You know, there's one more family too, right? The Bells. Gus, Buddy Bell, and David Bell. Don't want to shortchange them.
Pushing Molina back. Dotel's erratic enough to create some uncomfortable at-bats. It showed the numbers. He had a few too many walks, but he's dominating them. 40 innings with the 51 strikeouts. Came up as a minor leaguer with the Mets, traded from Mike Hampton to Houston, was a closer with the Astros, went to the A's, then got hurt. The Yankees had him for a year. Elbow surgery. Going to come down to it. I thinking now the way the baseball is, you have the importance of getting that bridge to your closer. More than one guy. When you look at your championship teams, they have a solid 6th, 7th inning go-to, 8th inning bridge to the 9th.
No, I addressed this with Joe Girardi on the Joe Girardi show coming up after the post game, and I said, you know, there are a lot of bloggers out there and websites that think that what you're doing is stretching out Phil Hughes so that you could move him into the rotation. He said, we're not. He said, I'm telling you, we're not. He said, he's going to stay in the bullpen for this year. He said, now I can't say definitively for sure. He says, if there's something that happens unforeseen to us, somebody goes down and we desperately need a starter, he said, I guess we'd go that route. He said, but nothing that's happening now, even the job of transition back to the bullpen, has anything to do with Phil Hughes moving into the rotation. That's how important he is right now in the bullpen. As Molina loses that battle, 2-away. Time for another look at today's Toyota Text Poll. Once again, the question, who will win the American League Central? And you've been voting at 58772. Here's how you voted. Wow. Dead heat, Tigers, White Sox, with the Twins, 20% of the vote.
Wow. Yeah, I believe that. I think it will come down to these two. Although the Twins beat up on the White Sox, and you never can count them out.
If they tie, it might come down to that dreaded 163rd
It did
game.
last year.
Yeah.
Remember the White Sox were blowing it down the stretch. The Twins came on, and they White Sox ended up beating them in that 163rd.
We hear that's one of the most pressure-packed games that you could ever pitch in.
Yeah, not really.
That's the Central right now. White Sox 1 behind, Twins 2.5. Right back to Dotel off the bat of Jeter. And that's going to do it. A 1-2-3 inning in the 7th for the Yankees. At the end of 6.5, time for the 7th inning stretch here in Chicago. Yankees leading by 3. Thank you, Nancy. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Yankees are leading this one 7-4. Let's take a look now at the Land Rover drive of the game. This was an important play in the game because the Yankees had lost the first 3 games of this series.
Well, it certainly was. Early in the game, getting the Yankees off to a quick 3-run start off of Mark Burley. Melky Cabrera has been really good with key hits all year long. That is the Land Rover drive of the game.
Crowd of 36,325 here on a Sunday in Chicago. And 4 big crowds for the White Sox with the Yankees in town. And the broadcasters here for the White Sox during the 7th inning stretch, they throw T-shirts out to the crowd, which is a nice gesture. Hawk Harrelson, longtime television broadcaster of the White Sox. And he makes people happy. He loosens the arm up. There it goes. And there you go.
Woo, he got something on that.
Now a little bit of trivia. Hawk Harrelson was doing the play-by-play on Sports Channel the day that Al Leiter debuted in the major leagues, right, Al?
Yes, sir.
And the color commentator on that broadcast was?
Mickey Mantle.
Pretty nice. It all ties together.
Cool stuff. The harmonica, turn it up, man.
Here's Chris Getz against CC Sabathia. And there's a strike. There he is. I'm a firm believer, though, Al, that if you wear a Yankee jersey with number 7, it's
you don't need to
kind
let
of
people know.
redundant to say Mantle. It's like, you know, if you have a number 3 jersey that says Ruth, stop, we know. 4, Derek, we get it. 5, DiMaggio.
There it
right
is.
there, for example.
But say you're not a Yankee fan. He was wearing that in London.
Oh, so he has to tell people what it means? The 0-2. I guess it's okay on the T-shirt, but the actual pinstripe uniform does not have a name, of course.
The only one in sport. In the baseball, right?
No, the Red Sox don't have a
home
name
and
at
away.
home. Yeah, home and away is the only one in baseball.
I guess the Dodgers, too. Aren't they doing that at home?
Dodgers Road has names. You have all the jerseys that you ever played for? Really, everyone? Must be a whole wing of the house.
Oh, not every year. No.
Every team, though.
Yeah.
Mets, Marlins, Yankees, you got them all.
Yes.
Blue Jays.
Got my first jersey was I was 56 when I got called up when Hawk and Mickey were doing the game.
Line drive down the right field line. It's a base hit for Getz. Boy, he's had a nice series against the Yankees. He's going to round second. He's going to third. The throw from Cano is cut off. A triple for Getz. He is 7 for 15 in this series.
Right. He's one of their speedsters. It's a guy busted right out of the box, realizing down the right field line. Nick Swisher is going to test his arm. This is his 4th triple of the year. No hesitation whatsoever. Derek Jeter cutting it off because the ball was offline. Watch Derek. Once Derek dove to the right, maybe Derek just made the decision that he would have had it either way.
That's going to bring up Jason Nitz. Yankees will play the infield back, so they'll give up the run. Although they could go home on a ground to the third or first. They're halfway. And there's a strike.
I think especially where Teixeira is.
Phil Hughes warming for the Yanks.
I think they're giving up the out here. Teixeira's too far back. Smart move. You're up by 3. Get the out. Quickly getting ahead now. CC make the pitch. You got a chance at 0-2, 1-2, whatever that put away pitch is, out of the zone.
Swing and a miss. That's a big strikeout for Sabathia, striking out Nix.
Or throw it right down the middle. 0-2 count. I think this is a changeup. Yeah. Take a little bit off, middle of the plate. Nice pitch.
Here is Ramon Castro. Tapped right back to Sabathia. He'll take the out at first. Runner stays put at third. One thing that the Yankees have in their favor today, they don't have to face Brzezinski, who's killed them offensively. Today and throughout the Yankee season on Yes, we're allowing you to vote along with the 2 of us here in the booth for the Chevy prior to the game. Text your vote to 58772. Today's candidates are number 1, Melky Cabrera. Number 2, Jerry Hairston Jr. Number 3, Nick Swisher. Number 4, Jermaine Dye. Vote now, make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. White Sox 1 for 8 today with runners in scoring position. In our first 3 games, 15 for 36. Posednik tries to bunt, and he's going to be out as Sabathia catches the bunt for the final out of the 7th inning. The leadoff triple is wasted. So Sabathia nimble down the front side of the mound, then up and back, and makes the catch. We go to the 8th. Become part of the winning team by joining the New York Yankees fan club. For just $35, You're going to receive an official membership card, a New York Yankees inaugural season baseball, special ticket discounts, and other exclusive fan club items. To join, just call 1-800-GO-YANKS or log on to Yankees.com today. It's a perfect candidate. Couple of candidates for the Yankee fan club right there. They're watching the Yankees lead this one 7-4. White Sox all weekend, Al, have been getting the big hit. They couldn't get that run in from third. That might loom very large in the outcome of this game.
Well, and you said it. I think the way CC went after Nix and Castro, especially Nix, just blew him away and then threw him that nice little change that really set up for him to be able to get out of that inning.
Scott Linebrink on in relief, deals a strike to Damon. Count now 1-1. Count 2-1. Burley started, didn't have anything. Then Tony Pena, Randy Williams, Octavio Dotel, and now Scott Linebrink. Fouled away.
Scott Linebrink's done a nice job across the board. Major League Baseball. He's got the second most holds since 2004 behind Scott Shields. A big number for setup guys, holding the opposing team to allow your closer to either save the game or win the game outright.
Blows it right by Damon, one away. So Johnny is 1 for 5 today.
He's got to be happy. Jake Peavy traded from the Padres to here. He played with Jake for 5 seasons. Linebrink was with the Padres before getting traded to the White Sox.
He had a great line because when they tried to trade for Peavy in May, Kenny Williams asked Linebrink to call up Peavy and tell him how great it was here, and Linebrink did it, and then Peavy turned the deal down. So they finally pulled the trigger on the Peavy deal for the second time, and Linebrink was asked, did they enlist your help in trying to get him to say yes? He goes, they didn't even ask. He said this time they wanted somebody who could actually close the game. He said, so they never told me anything. Ozzie Guillen didn't know, had no idea. And Kenny Williams kept it on the down low and was negotiating with the Padres and pulled the trigger, and no one knew in uniform for the White Sox. Ozzie said he was totally taken by surprise. And that's a walk to Teixeira. So Mark, his second walk, he's 1 for 3. That's going to bring up A-Rod, who's 1 for 3 with a walk.
Well, in that trade, Michael, the White Sox feel, and we just saw the text poll, how most baseball fans think that the AL Central will play out, and it will come down to the last couple of days or week of the season. And they feel with Jake Peavy down the stretch, they're 1, 2, 3 in the starting rotation, as good as any, certainly in the AL Central. And Burley and Gavin Floyd has been pitching very well, and to put in Jake Peavy in that mix, it's a pretty good right, left scenario.
People are so uncertain about the deal, though, in Chicago, that one of the columnists I believe it was in the Chicago Tribune, after the deal was finally pulled off, he said Kenny Williams is either the smartest GM in baseball or the dumbest. And by that they mean that the White Sox are kind of leaving themselves naked without a fifth starter, because they traded Clayton Richard in the deal. Now, if Peavy comes back and pitches well in September and helps them win, he's going to look like a genius. But if his ankle prohibits him from pitching at all this year and they don't win this season, yeah, they made themselves better for the next couple seasons. But how about right now? Runner goes, pitches high, and Castro couldn't handle it. A stolen base for Teixeira. And that's really the only gamble about the deal, is the health of Peavy.
See Castro not getting a handle on this, anticipating getting out of the chute before he actually caught the ball. Could have hurt his the heel of his glove, heel of his hand. This is a visit when sometimes when the catcher and pitcher, they don't get on the same page. The catcher will come out and say, okay, what do you want to use sign-wise? The catchers are good at an assortment of different signs to make sure that the runner at second base doesn't know what's coming and relay it to the hitter.
Hot shot, grabbed there by Beckham. 2 outs.
Beckham, shortstop out of college, but I'll tell you what he's shown during this series, very athletic. He made some great plays in a couple of the earlier games during this series, coming in to his left, charging the ball. Looks like he's going to be the real deal for a long time.
Here's Nick Swisher, 2 for 2, 2 walks, 2 runs scored. He's got his average over 240 again, and the on-base percentage creeping up once again. He's at 371. A lot of people ask, well, with Swisher slumping and hitting in the 230s, why is he still in there? Yankees love the fact that he gets on base. And the 370 on-base percentage, and for a while there was up around 400. They look at that. They don't care what the batting average is. He's getting on base for them. He's driving in runs. 17 home runs, 54 ribbies.
Well, and also, too, I think with Brett Gardner going down, that the less flexibility or versatility that they have in the outfield has also helped him. Because there have been some of the games that they had Brett Gardner in center and Melky in right. And Matsui's achy knees, you got to be careful how they use him, and Hinsky not being as fast as Nick Swisher as far as covering ground out in right field.
The 1-2. 2-2. Nick's dad played across town with the Cubs. Steve Swisher, catcher.
He's a manager in minor leagues for years. Makes pitchers work. Nick Swisher does. He's got a great eye, as Michael said. His on-base percentage goes up because of those walks. But even if he makes an out, that 3-2 count, foul off pitches, make the pitcher put the ball over the plate.
Swisher swings and misses for the final out of the 8th inning. So line break survives the walk. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 walk, 1 left. Go to the bottom of the 8th. Yankees up by 3. As we look at the Navy Pier here in Chicago, we remind you Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. By J&R Music and Computer World. And by IOTV. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV. CC Sabathia is still in there to start the 8th inning. This will be his 100th pitch of the day. And Beckham drives it deep to right center field. Melky giving chase. And it's going to be a ground rule double. It bounces over the wall for a double as Beckham picks up his 3rd hit of the afternoon.
Well, Beckham getting this ball that's away from him. Nice hitting there. Even though he had his front side open, he drove the ball through the baseball. This is strong young man. Not trying to do a whole lot, split the uprights in right center field. See it hitting the warning track, bouncing over. 2 doubles today. Now he's up to 18 doubles. 17.
Well, Beckham has tried out every single field. Hits to left, hit to right, 1 to center. And the final one knocks out CC Sabathia after 100 pitches. He leaves with the Yankees leading 7-4. It's time to go to the bullpen. Phil Hughes will make his way in. It's time to take a look at the play of the game, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance.
Well, all the way around, Melky Cabrera is having a heck of a game. This is in the first inning off of Jermaine Dye. Going a long way to get this ball totally outstretched. Making a beautiful play. Geico play of the game, Melky Cabrera.
Well, Melky just chilling in center field as Phil Hughes takes his warm-ups. Sabathia's day is over. CC was so-so, not great, certainly not terrible. It was like pitchers refer to that sort of performance, Al. He was grinding it out there. Didn't have great stuff, but made it work.
That's right, you know, and I agree with you. But for him to settle down the way he did and then throw up 4 zeros, get into the 8th inning, that's one of these games. If the Yankees end up winning this game, you look back on your season and say, boy, that could have been a throw in the towel start, and it wasn't. He battled all the way through.
Jermaine Dye against Phil Hughes. Their strike. White Sox have 7 extra base hits today, and they've managed just 4 runs. The 0-1. 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
An emergency hack, too. It just shows you not only velocity-wise what Phil Hughes has been showing since he's gone to the bullpen, but gets up on hitters. Shoots out like a cannon. You get a good fastball hitter in Jermaine Dye and a 0-1 count. He knows that Phil Hughes is going to come at you. Have a feeble attempt. Not picking the baseball up.
One for 9 in these spots so far today. Completely the opposite of what they've done in the first 3 games. Now they're 1 for 10 as Dye can't catch up with the fastball.
Just almost looks confused. He was able to get after him away. You see Molina setting up away, but now that ball running up and in. Some good movement. The effectiveness of elevating a fastball.
Mariano getting ready. Off-speed pitch outside to Tomey. Girardi will get up Mariano and use him for 4 outs. He just has almost like a mind block about using him for 5. He will not use him for 5 outs. I don't know if he's going to use him for 4 here, but it's not like asking him to get 5. Although tomorrow's an off day, so you can extend him a little bit more.
But the fact that he's warming up now in conjunction with Phil Hughes being out there is the possibility. Because if the intention was for him to pitch the bottom of the 9th, he wouldn't be warming up right now.
There's a strike. Beckham on second with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. He is throwing gas, and they're not catching up. That was 95 miles an hour. So much different as a reliever than as a starter. Aggressive, confident, proud of his fastball, and comes right at hitters. Starter, he always seemed a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Didn't have the best control. Check swinging a high fastball, and Fletcher says he did not go.
Well, and that comes with success. I'm an absolute believer. In order to feel the bravado and confident swagger, you have to have success. And if there's any doubt based on having struggled or not getting the job done, it's hard to stand up there and feel really proud of what you're doing. And here it comes, hitter kind of mentality.
And he walks Tomey. Now, what does Girardi do? He's got Konerko coming up. He's got Mariano ready. Does he stay with Hughes? Konerko is the tying run at the plate. And Joe, you can see he's kind of battling with this decision right now. Kind of swaying back and forth. He takes his sunglasses off, which is usually an indication that he's going to go to the mound. Now he puts them back on.
Well, Mariano hasn't pitched in 4 days, and there is an off day tomorrow. So if there ever is a time for Mariano to maybe get one of those 5-out saves, it is a lining up for that.
Well, you could see just from body language that Girardi struggled with that. Hughes has been so great for him. Like a slider.
Yes, nasty.
Pretty hard slider, 89 miles an hour.
Very, very good. See the late break, outside corner, down the way.
Count 0-2.
Right, go a couple places now. 0-2. You got Canerco, very good kind of guy that recognizes the situation, try to stay on the ball and go to right center. Can elevate higher than high or drop his breaking ball. He's throwing his curveball and that one slider. Whatever it is, you have an opportunity for 2 shots here to make it the pitcher's pitch.
Popped up and out of play.
Well, the aggressiveness is great, but that's a pitch that you don't want to keep throwing. An 0-2 count. He got away with location-wise, but because of Phil Hughes' stuff is just overpowering. Now Molina's going to come out and have a talk with him. Watch this 0-2 count. You have a chance to expand. That ball is middle of the plate, belt high. It's not where you want to be. And I say that, I mean, it's not easy. I haven't done it, but after you throw it and you get the foul ball, and, you know, it looks rather benign, but, you know, internally, Phil, he's saying, okay, I got to make a better pitch than that.
First and second, 1 out. Bottom of the 8th. And Hughes deals. Strike 3. Canerco down looking. Got him on a slider, and he froze Canerco, who does not like the call.
Well, Greg Gibson, that's all that counts, and he saw it as an inside pitch. Let's see right away the pitch-by-pitch slider. Fastball challenges him, and then that's the 0-2 pitch that ended up being right down the middle, and you saw the backdoor slider. He misses his location, but it got coverage, and the reason why Canerco couldn't pull the trigger, that cutter coming at him, it freezes him. I know it's not where Molina caught that ball because he was setting up away. Good enough for Greg Gibson.
Well, we told you about the aversion to 5 outs. Now Mo has to get 4 outs to try to stop this 3-game losing streak. So Girardi takes the ball from Hughes, calls on Rivera. Rivera against Quinton when we get back. Hey, there's no excuse to miss another game now that Yankee fans can watch live Yes Network games on their PCs and laptops. If you're an Optimum Online and IOTV customer who watches Yes, go to YesNetwork.com to get more information and to sign up for your subscription now. So the Yankees in need of a win. They take out Phil Hughes with runners on first and second, and they bring in Mariano Rivera with great numbers, 29 saves, 49 strikeouts, and 43 in the 3rd innings. Just 5 walks, and he will face Carlos Quinton. Quinton is the tying run at home plate. And the pitch. And lined inside first and down the right field line. Beckham will score. Tomei will go to 3rd. It's an RBI single for Carlos Quinton, and now it's 7-5. Yankee lead.
Carlos Quinton going after this first pitch cutter. Mariano's patented pitch. Instead of pulling off the ball, not doing a whole lot, trying to stay with it, hoping that he could punch it past Teixeira. as he does, to share playing off the line. Nice approach so far. A couple hits for Carlos Quentin.
Dwayne Wise comes in to pinch run for Quentin. As Ozzy's trying to ensure that he will tie the game on an extra base hit. Here's Chris Getz. A lot of big hits in this series. 7 for 15. And Mo ties him up with the cutter, 0-1.
Mo's been like this most of his career, but right-handed batters are batting .210, lefties 177. Both great numbers, but that cutter in on the lefty's been awfully tough.
Quickly 0-2. And this is the first look for Chris Getz at Mariano Rivera. And even those that have seen that cutter for 10 years, they have some problems with it. Chris Getz, this is his first view of it. And the 0-2. Grounded to first, foul.
Well, and also Chris Getz, a few years ago, he was at the University of Michigan, 2005, and I'm sure as a baseball player fan, you're facing the great Mariano Rivera. But what makes Mariano so tough is that he's evolved to where it's not the same cutter. Even though it's the cutter, changes speeds on it, location not only in, but he'll backdoor it. The break will get bigger or smaller, depending upon the hitter. So it's more than just one pitch.
Strike 3, gets done looking. So the White Sox creep closer. 1 run, 2 hits, and 2 men are left. We're going to go to the 9th. Tight one, 7-5, Yankees lead. After the final out, stay put for the WB Mason postgame to get highlights and analysis from this game against the Sox and also the rest of baseball. Plus, hear the players' reaction from the clubhouse with Kimberly Jones. It's the Emmy-winning WB Mason postgame only on Yes. Cano leads off against Linebrink to start the ninth. 1-0. Dwayne Wise stays in center. Posednik moves from center to left. Swing and a miss. And the 1-1. Fouled away.
All the wins are big, Michael, as you know. But, you know, after this weekend of as well, the Yankees have played since the All-Star break coming in here. Disappointing 3 losses. First night was a real heartbreaker and a 3-2 loss.
Boy, Beckham had him played perfectly. They've been playing the Yankee left-hand hitters really wide of third base in this whole series. Time to announce the Chevy player of the game as voted on by you, the fans, and the 2 of us here in the booth.
Well, he's got the triple crown for the old awards today. All 3 of them. Home run early in the game, make it a 3-0 lead. Ended up getting a double over Jermaine Dyeshead, hustling into second base. And here's that little single in front of Posednik. 3 for 4, 4 RBIs.
He has the rare triple, Al, the drive of the game, the play of the game, the player of the game. Ironically enough, he's a triple away from the cycle.
Oh, well, let's take a look here.
Count 2-0. Popped up and out of play on the left side.
How do you not think of it? It's a 7-5 game, of course, a tight ball game, but he's got to know it. Love to have it, right?
You would think.
Yeah.
The big decision is if he hits one in the gap, does he take a chance? But the game's too close to take a chance. Count 2-2. You know, you could see how important a game is for a manager just by subtle moves. Phil Hughes has been lights out for this team. One of the reasons they've had one of the best records in baseball. And Girardi wants this game so badly that he did not trust Hughes to get Quinton and went to Rivera. That one's popped up down the left field line. Sednick runs out of room. Because of all the pitchers he has out there, there's one guy that he trusts more than anybody else, and that's Mariano Rivera, and he wants him to get 4 outs.
You blame him? Especially with the off day, hasn't pitched in 4 days. Hard to not want to bring in Mo.
And that one is ripped into right center field. It's going to be over the head of Jermaine Dye. Melky Cabrera will go for second. Here he's going for 3. He's pedaling away, and he is in there with a triple and the cycle. The first one for the Yankees since 1995. And he knew it, Al, because he stood up and pumped his fist in the air.
And the whole dugout, the Yankee dugout, they all came flying out. You know, absolutely they were talking about it. Wow.
What a game for Cabrera.
Dye absolutely misplays this. He thought it was a low liner. He ended up cutting directly across towards center field. Busting it, saying, I'm getting this cycle, got it.
And that's the reaction of the Yankee bench, so everybody knew it. Well, the Yankees are going to send up Hideki Matsui to pinch hit for Hairston, and he will promptly get intentionally walked. 1995, Tony Fernandez did it, and now Melky Cabrera is the latest Yankee to do it. It's been 14 years.
It's pretty cool.
So a pinch hit intentional walk to Matsui, and now Girardi really wants to open this up. He's going to send Posada up to pinch hit for Molina. Now, Jorge, be the first guy to tell you this has not been a great series for him. Hit to double plays, hasn't gotten hits in big situations, had a rough time behind the plate. Yesterday made a tag with the glove when the ball was in the right hand. So he'd love to pick up a big hit right here. Cody Ransom is going to pinch run for Matsui, and he'll take over at third. So now the White Sox will play the infield back. They'll try to get the double play on Posada. Be interesting to see if Girardi pushes the envelope and sends Ransom. Posada 13 home runs and 47 ribbies. Almost picked off Ransom. You never see it work, but it's the old Jeff Nelson. He faked to third, and Ransom took a step towards second. It's just that Linebrink didn't throw to first quickly enough.
Yeah, many times, I think it was just a secondary lead there from Ransom. Pitchers would be more surprised. It's more to just keep him close from not going to easy first and third.
Pitch outside to Posada. Posada's trying for a 3-run home run there. Big, healthy cut, 1-1. Popped up and out of play, third base side.
Well, you say a big healthy cut now, and you have two-strike approach. Posada will change that a little bit. Less back leg and more thinking left center, right center, gap to gap.
One-two, and Posada strikes out. He could not get the run in from third. Strikes out in a pinch hitting appearance.
Yeah, he was just caught in between here. Linebrink just coming right after him. See the ball end up not being where he wanted it, but Jorge, given that kind of that two-strike little chop approach, just beat him.
Now, we have detailed that Melky is the first cyclist for the Yankees since 1995. The last opponent to hit for a cycle against the White Sox, Carlos Gomez of the Twins, last May. Along with Al Leiter, I'm Michael Kay. You're watching Yankees baseball right here on the Yes Network. Tight game, top of the ninth inning. Yankees lead 7-5, trying to salvage the final game of this four-game set. Here's Jeter against Linebrink. Count 1-0. You know you've had a big day when you've tied Babe Ruth. Jeter with 2,084 games played as a Yankee. The 1-0. 2-0. Linebrink in his second inning of work. The White Sox have used 4 relievers. Mark Burley started, didn't really have it today. Taken out with 1 out in the 5th. 2-0. Half hack upstairs, count 2-1.
Well, Derek got the fastball too late, ended up being higher than high. He realizing can't hold up, trying to get some kind of swing at it.
Two and two. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Number 2 at the plate, 2 men on. Yankees lead by 2 here in the top of the 9th inning, so deuce is wild. And it's 4:02 on the clock here in Chicago. The pitch. Stays alive, fouls it back. That's a great hand in poker. Let's see what it is here in baseball. Runner goes. Hit and run was on. Through the vacated hole for a base hit. Melky scores. Ransom goes to third. Jeter picks up a big RBI single, and the Yankees are up 8-5. Well, they sent Ransom. Nix went to cover, and Jeter hit it right where Nix was standing.
Perfect execution on this hit and run right here. The ball coming in. Derek Jeter pulling his hands in. As Michael said, Nix covering second base. The vacant hole allowing the ball to go through. Big hit, big run right here late in the game.
Second hit for Jeter. Right where Nix was standing. So Ozzie Guillen takes the ball from Linebrink, and he is going to call for another reliever, his 5th of the game. Melky Cabrera makes baseball history. Yankees are just trying to get a win. Tuesday night on Yes, the Yankees are up in Toronto to play a quick 2-game set against the Blue Jays. Complete coverage starts at 6:30 with the Tri-State Ford pregame, and it's only on Yes. What a matchup that they Pettit against Halladay. Well, Johnny Nunez comes in. He's making his major league debut. Melky Cabrera just made some major league history, hitting for a cycle. And Nunez, out of the Yankee system, deals to Damon, and it's fouled off. Johnny Nunez actually came to the White Sox in the deal that brought Nick Swisher to the Yankees. And he's had a very good season in the minors, just called up. He was 3-0, 67 strikeouts and 33 relief appearances in 58 innings. And that was between AAA and AA this year. Averages 10.3 strikeouts per 9 innings. And spells Johnny like Johnny Peralta does, J-H-O-N-N-Y. Just missed inside.
Johnny Nunez actually with the Washington Nationals was traded for Alberto Gonzalez. He wasn't with the Yankees for long. Traded along with Wilson Betemit and Jeff Marquez.
2-2. 3-2. How nervous is he? Major league debut.
I would think, no doubt about it. You know, it's a little different. Well, in this 8-5, your deficit of 3 runs, but there's no question about it. You dream of this moment. Every major leaguer, every baseball player, little leaguer on up, you think about that moment when you first get on a major league mound in a big league stadium.
Runners go. That's grounded up the middle. Fielded there by Nix. He fires to first, and that'll do it. So Nunez comes on to get the final out. Yankees score a run on 2 hits, but the big hit, a triple by Melky Cabrera. He gets on the bike, and you know what? At the end of this trip, he's got himself a cycle. First one since 1995 for the Yanks. Well, after the final out, stay put for the WB Mason postgame to get highlights and analysis from this game against the White Sox and the rest of Major League Baseball. Nancy Newman's in our studios. Plus, hear the players' reaction from the clubhouse as they talk to Kimberly Jones. It's the Emmy-winning WB Mason postgame, and it's only on Yes. Well, we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Last chance for the White Sox. It'll be 8-9-1 in the order against Mariano Rivera, who struck out Chris Getz looking to end the 8th inning. Posada's behind the plate, and Ransom is at third. Defensive changes for the Yanks. And there's a strike. Now the Yankees hold on to win this game and salvage the final game of this 4-game set. They will avoid getting swept in a 4-game set here in Chicago for the first time since '64, and that was the Phil Linz harmonica situation. But I would think that after Melky hit for a cycle, Al, he could play the harmonica today. I don't think that would be a problem.
In this win?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Harmonica, drums.
You think he could play drums? Interesting.
Piano.
The 0-2 is high.
Gator used to play drums.
Not in a bus.
No, not in a bus. They have the little electric things now. Doesn't take up a whole lot of space.
Like from Rock Band. You think they'd allow him to play the oboe?
That wouldn't fit.
Just missed. You could actually see, though, how much that meant to Melky Cabrera. The way he popped up at third base, and we were wondering, gee, I wonder if he knows. And he knows, and the team knew. Players are very in tune to that stuff, and a cycle's a big deal. It's hard to come by.
Well, you said it. It's less frequent than a no-hitter.
It's about the same. The 2-2. Fouled away. That's how pumped up he was. And that turns out to be a very important run,
yes,
too. Because he ended up scoring on Jeter's base hit. And it wasn't an unimportant triple because the Yankees were in a tight game. 2-2 count on Nix, and Rivera deals. 3-2. A.J. Przinsky's on deck. He'll pinch hit for Castro. Three-two. Grounded to second. Cano. And there's one away. So that's going to bring up Przinsky. And the Yankees don't want any part of Przinsky in this series. 8 for 14. A double, 2 ribbies, 3 runs scored. Yesterday, he was 3 for 5 with a ribby and 2 runs scored.
He came into this series, this 4-game series, batting .302. So you see what he's done average-wise on the year, increasing 13 points. This time of the year with the amount of bats, it's a heck of a series.
Hitting .348 in his last 52 games, so he's really turned it on. And he skips rope to get out of the way, 1-0. In the last 2 games against the Yankees, 7 hits and 10 at-bats.
Hasn't fared too well against Mo, .083 batting average.
Count 2-0. For 12 against Rivera. And now 3-0. Walked him on 4 pitches, so only the 6th walk issued by Mariano Rivera all year. He is looking for his 30th save of the season. That brings up Posednik. There's a strike. Mariano's converted 50 of his last 53 save chances on the road. And that was after blowing his first 2 save opportunities in 2007 on the road. See if they can turn 2 on this. It's going to be tough. There's 1 on to first, not in time. Posednik's a bit too quick. Now, if Rivera picks up this save, it'll be his 30th save, the 12th time he's done that in his career, 7th straight season. And he will become the 4th player in Major League history to register at least 30 saves in 7 straight seasons, joining Trevor Hoffman, who's done it 8 straight, Rob Nen, and Troy Percival. Runner goes, and he will take second on defensive indifference as Beckham takes a strike. There's a ground ball, and it's knocked down by Teixeira. It'll step on the bag. That will do it. and the Yankees win this one 8-5. Yankees needed this win. They had lost the first 3 games of this series, and a lot of the players were comparing it to losing the 3 games in Anaheim, where everything that could go wrong did go wrong. But CC Sabathia had a grinded-out win. Melky Cabrera picks up the Yankees' first cycle since 1995, and the Yankees win this one 8-5. And coming on the day before an off day, Al, that's a big win for the Yankees.
Huge, especially as you set it up, Michael, with the 3 losses, getting out of here, getting the win, having an off day up in Toronto. It's a much better feeling. This flight is going to be a happy flight. And
Sabathia didn't pitch that great, Al, but he picks up his 11th victory. And those are the type of wins you need to get, grinded out sort of wins.
No doubt. And at the end of the year, he's going to look at this start and say, hey, this was very satisfying. Could have been a lot worse, and he wouldn't have lasted as long.
Well, Kim Jones is standing there right in front of the Yankee dugout with Melky Cabrera and Robbie Cano as an interpreter. Kim?
That's right, Michael. Melky, what's it like to hit for the cycle?
Mire que me siento muy bien y que gracias a la oportunidad me ha dado el manager y seguí aprovechando y seguí ganando los juegos.
He said he's feel good and he want to thank the manager for the opportunity to play every day, and you know, thanks God to that he got the cycle today.
Did you know you needed the triple?
Dile que cuando vi que el jugador lo volé, yo dije, yo me voy a meter a tercera hasta que me hagan out.
Yeah, he said as soon as he hit that ball there, went over, he said he's gonna go to third base even if he didn't make it now.
Your teammates were loving it. What were they saying to you?
¿Qué te dijeron los compañeros? ¿Estaban contentos? ¿Qué te dijeron?
Estaban contentos con lo que hice y me felicitaron que siga trabajando fuerte.
We were happy and we said him congratulations, and then we told him to keep working hard.
Melky, this hasn't been done for the Yankees since 1995. What does it mean to you?
En 95 nadie hacía esto. ¿Qué esto significa para ti?
Me siento contento, feliz, pero la oportunidad que me ha dado el manager la quiero aprovechar más.
He said he feels happy, but the most thing he want to take advantage is the opportunity to play every day.
And a big win today. Guys, thank you so much. Back to you, Michael.
He gave her "you're welcome, nada de nada." Anyway, for Melky Cabrera, a big game, and it's a nice story for Melky. He had a battle in spring training, lost the battle to be the starting center fielder. Brett Gardner was that guy, but then Melky continued to persevere and took the job back. Now he's playing every day in center field. And this triple is something that he's going to be remembered for a long time, and he'll remember as well the Yankees' first cycle since 1995. And more importantly for the Yankees, they win this one 8-5. We'll come back, try to make sense of it all, and then after that, the WB Mason postgame. Well, those Yankee fans are a lot happier today than they have been the previous 3 days here in Chicago, as the Yankees win this one 8-5, 8-15-0. White Sox 5-11-0. Sabathia got the win, Burley the loss. Rivera his 30th save for the 7th straight season. Time of the game 3:10, and Melky hit for the cycle and had 4 ribbies. First Yankee to hit for the cycle since '95. Tony Fernandez did it then. Join us again Tuesday for Yankees baseball as the Bombers travel to Toronto to take on the Blue Jays. The coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. with the New York Yankees pregame show in high definition where available. Halladay against Pettit. Once again, our final score, Yankees 8 and Sox 5. Special thanks to Kevin Small and John Moore, Woody Fryman, and John Filippelli. For Al Leiter, I'm Michael K. saying